Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. Jay Moore here, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. Today on the Account for Life podcast, we're talking about, what I've discovered that makes my college education irrelevant. And look, some of you may not like this, but this is what I personally discovered that is helping me to become the person that I know I was created to be. So let's jump right into this. So I was out yesterday. It was family day, and we was hanging out, and went out to lunch. And my son Jared, he had we picked up his girlfriend, and so we're all hanging out. And it's interesting because Jared, he prompted her, he told her, he says, "Hey," he says, "Dad's probably going to ask you a whole bunch of questions." And I wasn't, I thought about it, but I wasn't asking any questions. And so he says, "Dad, you're not going to ask any questions. We had been together for about an hour." And I said, "Oh, that's right. I could ask some questions." Now, here's the thing. Both of them are 19. They're in college, second year. And here's the thing. When you're that young and you're in school and you're trying to make your way, you're trying to figure out what it is that you actually like and what it is that you would like to do in your life. A lot of times you have questions, and these questions are because based on what you've seen, what you've experienced, you're just wondering if this really works. And so she was having some some questions about what things really meant in colleges. And so she recently changed her degree, her major to marketing. And we were talking about it, asking some questions. And then she says, "Man, I just don't like accounting. Man, that accounting, But here's the thing. Here's what is interesting about most people when they say they don't like accounting. I said, "Well, what accounting is actually what you want." And so I played a little game. I said, "Look, accounting is just like this." And so you know how you would see people, with their money, and they just kind of just flipping it. I said, "This is all accounting is. You're counting money. Don't you like counting money?" "Yeah, I like counting money." So accounting is counting money. And then after you count the money, you look at the money, right? You look at the money in front of you. Now, a lot of us don't want to look at the money. A lot of us are scared to look at the money. And it hit me yesterday. I'm sitting there like, oh, shoot. I said, "Man, if I could have learned and understood this concept in college, I would just dropped out and just went on with something else." Because I said, "I want you to think about something. We're talking." I said, "Didn't you say you were going to college?" Yeah, absolutely. Said I was going to college." "Did you say you wasn't going to college?" "No, I didn't say that." "So you said you was going to college. That means you thought about going to college, which means that you're producing the result of the things that you thought about, which created the actions that you did so that you can actually be doing the thing you said you're going to do." I want you to think about what I just said. Here's what I just said. When you think about something, it will create an action within you. That action will then will have you say something. Typically, that's how it works. You will say something. Then when you say that thing, then all of a sudden you're going to do the thing. I said, "Well, if you would have said while you were in high school, 'I'm not going to college,' in your mind, say you said, 'I'm not going to college. I'm not going to college. I'm not going,' and just kept saying it over and over and over. 'I'm not going away to college. I'm going to stay home. I'm going to find me a job.' And then when it came time, you would start saying, 'I'm not going to college, Mom. I'm not going to college, Mom. I'm going to find a job, and I'm going to make my way.'" I said, "That's what you would be doing right now." Like even in her mind, she says that, well, she didn't want to stay home because she didn't want to have to commute. And she kept talking about in her mind, "I don't want to have to commute. She got a full ride. She had a full ride to go to a college at home. I don't want to go to that college because I don't want to commute. But here's what's interesting. Because she kept saying she didn't want to do it, what happens is part of what she didn't want to do, she's kind of getting now because now she goes to Howard, and Howard, check out. She's not even living on campus. She's living off campus at basically we're in this, not on the campuses of the University of Maryland, but University of Maryland has housing, within a couple of minutes of their school. And she's got to go from there all the way to her school on the shuttle every day to get to school. And that takes about 40 minutes, probably 45 minutes a day. She's commuting. So I said, look at what happens as you think about things and you do things. And this one I realized that college was irrelevant, at least for me. I don't know about you. Anything that I've said I was going to do and I created a plan and action, I did it. If I didn't know what to do, then I didn't do it. I want you to think about this. If you don't know what to do, you won't do anything. If you're unsure about what to do, you won't do anything. Or you just kind of, man, I'm not sure if that's it. And I'm going to tell you, like, this month has taught me some things about myself, about success, about winning. And I'm going to tell you, it's all come down to accounting. And I'm going to tell you, when you're not looking, you potentially are not producing what it is you'd like to produce. Like, because it's easy to give yourself a pass. Have you ever given yourself a pass and it's like, well, I didn't do it today. Okay, I missed it. But what if you kept getting zeros? What if all you had on your list of things that you should be doing was zeros because you never did it? Then what would happen is you would get a motivation from that. You would get motivation from it just because, like, but I don't want to lose the game just like I'm here every day. Like I wake up every day. Why am I not doing anything? And I'm going to tell you, the key to everything is accounting. And this was the conversation I had with her. And the conversation was that, hey, look, what if you looked at everything? What if you looked at where you were going? It's like, okay, well, I'm going to get a degree. Here's the thing about college, which is kind of cool, right? You can see how to get the degree. That's why everybody does it, or not everybody, the people that do it. I saw it as a path. Man, I would get a degree. What is that degree worth? Well, if I get that degree, then that degree is going to help me to have something. What is it going to help me to have? More money. It's going to help me to be successful at something potentially. And that means that I can potentially have more money, which for me, that's what I was looking for. I was only going to college because my desire was more money. My desire was to buy houses. My desire was to take care of my family at a high level. My desire was to be paid. And here it was, I'm in college and they just said, just go to college and that would happen. And here's when I realized it didn't work. Not even recently. I realized it didn't work when I passed my CPA exam. Nothing happened because no one shared with me how it worked. No one shared with me, you got to create the value in yourself so that other people would see this value. And then when they see the value, then you could potentially get more. But if no one agrees with the value, then there's no way that you'll get more. There's no way that you'll have more. So you've got to create more value within yourself. And that's what I did not discover that in school. What they taught me is just come through the process and everything will be good. That's not true. And yesterday when I was talking to Jared and his girlfriend, what I said, look, you just have to decide what it is that you would like to do, what it is you would like to have. And when you decide that, then that's when you actually have to think it all the time. And you have to then, from thinking it, it's going to create an action. Look, I spend most of my time thinking. Yeah, most of my time I spend thinking because thinking has to create the right action. That's what you would like thinking to do for yourself. You would like thinking to create action, the action that would actually get you the result. So I spend a lot of time thinking. And in spending that time thinking, what I came up with this month is now the 28th day. So we haven't finished this day, but 27 days into the month. Here's the synopsis is why college is irrelevant. When you decide what it is that you would like to be, and then you think on that idea, it's going to create the corresponding action. And I'm gonna tell you, so I went on another health journey this month. And that health journey, from thinking about it, created some actions, which has been creating some results. So I was on the phone with the client. The client says, "Hey, I saw your picture on Friday, and man, it looks like you've lost weight." I said, "Really? Me? I lost weight?" Which I haven't really. I mean, maybe a couple of pounds, right? But she says, "Yeah, you like your face thinned out," which probably is true because hey, when you start doing some things, they're going to produce a result. You might not see it. See, a lot of times we're doing things and we can't see the results. And what's happening is then oh no, nothing's happening. But here's the thing. Here's when I realized that my results were coming in. Like I started doing push-ups this month, and I'm gonna tell you, at the beginning of the month, even though I lifted weights, that's a different type of that's a different type of exercise. And I was like, I can I've gotten stronger in the past 27 days. No one can see that except me when I get down on the ground and start doing them and I can knock out, a couple of hundred push-ups, in a matter of minutes. Like, yo. All right. So before I let you go here's why school is irrelevant. School will not teach you or me how to have what it is that we want to have. So that's the first thing. So if the synopsis comes down to it will not teach us how to have what we would like to have, then that means that whatever it gives us, we have to disregard it. Now, I'm not telling you that, oh, well, what about your accounting degree, Jay? Well, I have it, but I have to disregard that because that degree is not actually going to help me to make all the money and have all this stuff. No. That degree is not going to do it. What about the CPA license? No, the CPA license is not necessarily going to do that because that's just something that was just a test. I just so happened to pass the test. Just like I just so happened to pass some classes, which gave me a piece of paper. I got 2 pieces of paper, which I used to have them on the wall. They're not there anymore, but I got 2 pieces of paper that are only pieces of paper. So if I would like to have more, all right, write this one down. You have to decide to be more. That's the first thing you got to decide. You can't do anything until you decide to be more. That's the first thing. And that's the first thing I've decided. I will be more. All right. Okay. So now you got to outline what being more looks like. This is where it takes some work. This is where work starts. You ain't doing nothing yet, though. See, because you got to outline what it looks like first. Because what if you don't know what it looks like? Then if you don't know what it looks like, you won't know what to do. So you got to outline what it looks like. And then from knowing what it looks like, that process alone creates a set of actions for you to do. That's why everybody is different. Like I can give you some steps. I'm giving you a framework right now. I'm not giving you actual like how to get this specific result because a framework works with everybody. So when you decide to be more, then you must create what that is. You must create what that is. You must decide, how does that look? Who am I going to become? And then from who you become, that's when you get your doing stuff. So and I'll run down a couple for myself. Like I wanted to transform my mind this month. That's what I was going for. I'm looking for a transformation in my mind, and I'm going to use exercise as a portion of transforming my mind. And so how did I use exercise? The first thing I'm going to do is change up my routine. So that's the first thing I decided. I changed up my routine. I started running. That was hard. A lot of times you're going to change your routine and you're going to have to do a hard thing because you're not doing it. Typically, if you have to become more, you're going to probably have to do things that you may not have been doing. So I wasn't running, which everybody can do that. I can run. You can walk. I decided I would try it. I'd get out there, even though it was going to hurt. And I suffered through the pain. Yes, suffered. There was suffering. Body it was aching and joints are hurting. Suffer through the pain. As I suffered through the pain, And I continue to move through different things that I knew I would have to do while I was, creating this new mindset within myself so that I can be a better person, husband, business person, father, friend, all these things. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, wow, I'm actually seeing the mindset shift. Sometimes you have to do something opposite to what it is that you would like. I'm seeing, I have a path to the money. That's where everyone says, well, what's the path to the money? The path to the money is do the things that you didn't do so that you can have the money, which is, hey, well, one of the things, Dan Kennedy is a world-renowned advertiser. And here's what he says. He says, there's two types of advertising. There's the one that focuses on lead generation and then the one that focuses on brand building. What's most important? Lead generation. Lead generation is the key to your business and mine. The more leads you can generate, the more money you would actually make. But here's the thing. That's not new information. If you're in business, that's not new information. So here's the thing. You start doing things, and all of a sudden, it's time to really just get going. You just got to do it. For young people. And then Darren says, for young people to make study and career decision whilst at school can be counterproductive as people goals change. That's right. School should be more about giving young people life skills. Absolutely, Darren. It should be. But that's not why school was created. School wasn't created to give us life skills. School was created to indoctrinate you into a culture. And that culture has a result for you, which is to just be a person within the culture. And that's it. Just be a person within the culture that has a limited education, that does only a limited amount of things, and that is limited in everything else. So if that's the case, then yeah, we can go to school all we want, but we're only going to get the result that school gave us. If we would like more out of life, as we close right now, you would have to be more first. Design that. And being more, you would do more. And by doing more, because you became more, you would have more. That's the process. That's the end of story. That's how you do it. But school is irrelevant for me because school is not going to get me to where I'm going. Education is getting me to where I'm going. That's a whole nother topic, and we'll get to that in another episode. But I want to thank you so much for joining me for another episode of this Account for Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant. If you have not liked or subscribed to this channel, wherever you're watching it, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode. God bless, and I will see you soon. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.